page, and then we'll move it on over to the YouTube channel. Make sure everything is copacetic, as they say. We want to make sure everyone is watching who should be watching. And if you're not watching, I don't know why you weren't watching. You should be watching because we got another big day of action here on Friday. A lot of semifinal action. Some games are up. We have some lines. We have some matchups. We'll do what we can. Give out some winners. We had some winners in the show. I gotta apologize though. Like out of the gate today, I was terrible in my early action. Terrible. Toledo. I like the over and Toledo, and I just have Toledo, and that's a loser. Michigan State fails to show up for a half. West Virginia. Who else we have? Tulsa. I like today. I didn't get there. For regular Virginia combo. The two states let me down. We did hit over Kentucky. St. Peter's, Georgetown was a nice dog outright. Georgia Tech couldn't get it done for us. Southern Utah was a winner. Splitting out right now. Splitting out, we'll see. Hopefully we catch our late games here. We got Texas Tech rolling. Norfolk we have. North Carolina and Weber. So we win those. It's a nice big day. Well, it's just, might just split out again, but terrible. Mike, none of these close lines went my way. I've bounced back a little bit on some games, I'm like 500, but yeah, Michigan State, Virginia, West Virginia, all these close, couldn't just pull away. Get the water bottle ready. I got a Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, it was a little bit left. My wife was having it. I got the bottom little nipples down here. That's about it. I'm going to need one. When my son comes out of his little cave, I'll tell him, give me a water bottle, though, because I don't like drinking soda. This is like my third time drinking soda since like December. I'm trying. I was always a big water drinker anyway, but don't ask me why. I ripped open a pepper because I'm not feeling like a pepper right now. Don't want to be a pepper too. So let's roll right into just some Friday matchups. We'll discuss other things when we get to it. I got to say, tomorrow night, I might be not sure tomorrow night. I might have to be picking up a relative at the hospital. I don't know when they're getting out. It could be 4 in the afternoon. It could be 11 o'clock at night. So who knows? I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Either way, we'll come back on Saturday at noon. Maybe we'll come back a little earlier, maybe at 10 or 11. Yeah, Michigan State, Virginia. I was right there with you, Mike. Took our lumps early games. Let's roll out. Georgetown. Yeah, Georgetown was a nice one. We like that. We said, sprinkle some money line we're talking about in here. Why not? Villanova. We thought they're down a little bit at the star player. Then you lose another guy, and that's a nice winner there. Montana State was nice. Yeah, Michigan State. And that's so unlike an Izzo team. They usually show up in March. March is when they, like Syracuse today. Syracuse was down. That should have been a cover for us, and then they hit some threes, and then, we don't get a win there, or maybe even overtime. 304. I'm glad you're back too. Hey, listen, got to work, right? But you could watch the show all the time. That's how I kind of do it the night before, and the day shows almost the same stuff. We race through the games. And tomorrow, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on tomorrow. I might have to get a relative. Who knows what's going to happen. But we'll do the live show at noon tomorrow, and we'll do a live show on Saturday. Maybe I'll come back at 11 a.m. Saturday instead of noon to get at some games. A lot of championship games, this weekend. So, but we'll just jump into, I started doing, when the lines first started coming up, it's really miraculous how they could come up with, lines for games literally 5 minutes after they end, day of. So the first, I started in a Big Ten instead of starting in the AAC because Michigan's playing at 11:30 tomorrow. It was the first game up, and I was starting to do my write-up. So I'm going to start with the Big Ten, and then who else? Then the AAC, then we go to the SEC because that was the next game up with Alabama. But after that, we'll try to get into conference order. I know people like time order, but that's just tough because then I'm all over the place. Yeah, I came back with Kansas myself. Had Kansas in my night package. My day packages were terrible. Uh, 0-6 in my 2-day packages. Couldn't get a winner. Ohio State, I had the under looking pretty, and they decided there's what, 25, 30 points in the last 2 minutes of the game. Are you kidding me? But, looking good here late, though. We came back. We had Central Florida got there. Under Rice was an easy winner. Kansas, well, I don't know. I don't have the North Carolina score in front of me. That was tied. I don't like that pace though. It's not looking good. We need Carolina. They got to get on the glass and then just run down the court like a bunch of wild men and throw it down. They get into his set offense. That's not what I like to see at them. And they need to be running like gazelles on the court. That's it. So let's start going. We got a lot of games. Yeah, I like the conference order. People are like, "Oh, go in time order." Time. I mean, I'd just be all over the place because I try to have the seeds. I kind of want to know, like, well, Maryland, Michigan today. Winner plays the winner of Ohio State, Purdue. I don't want to be all over the place. I've had an up and down last couple weeks, but that's you're gonna have that. That's par for the course. I mean, every week you're not gonna be a winner, Billy. That's just the way it is. You gotta, sometimes I want to adjust, but you're I'm just gonna say like you're 9 days into 9 days into 10, and because you're at the tail end of it, you can't throw out everything and start you know starting over again. You recalculate a little bit, but number one thing you do is you just pull back the bankroll a little bit. It's gonna say this is kind of crazy. You got guys sit out. You don't know who's playing. The lines are weird. It's been a weird season for sure. Some guys had good seasons, other guys had bad seasons. I see a lot of people like, I'm not even playing this season. Maybe I'll come back for tournament time and bet some dogs. So, and that's for the NBA. You get some nonsense going on there. Hockey though somehow is surviving, and they had a little rough start to it, but they seem to be doing okay now. Don't listen to them. No, yeah, I can't. I need, because if I'm doing a conference, I'm going to have. I'm looking for information, so I can't just be. We're in the Big Ten. We're in the Big Sky. We're in the Mountain West. We gotta stay in each one and roll down the line. And that's why sometimes we'll be doing like, so it's Big Ten first. We're gonna be out of order for three here. The first three are gonna be just time order, then we'll jump into the flow. Because I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to get stuff done because even now I don't have a lot of the games done because you're stuck on one conference. You're trying to what the matchup is, and you're waiting for a line to come up. So you're trying to do some research, and then it is what it is. We'll talk about all the games. So I'll give you what I got. Nico's in the house. How you doing tonight? Thanks for joining again. Everybody, thank you for joining. Make sure you give us a like. I appreciate the likes and the comments. Let me know. We got crap games this morning. I get it. I told you all the games. We had losers early. Losers in the early games. We came back with some nice winners, I guess, late afternoonish. So we'll try to wrap up the night with a nice winning day. Benton is in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thanks for coming. We're going to start here. Maryland, Michigan, top seed. Michigan laying 8.5. Total 133.5. 133.5 in this game. I do have a premium on this game, but I'll give it to you anyway because I did so crappy in games yesterday. I do like Michigan here. Let's be honest. This team is a top probably 3 team. They're really good. They swept them this year, 87-63, 84-73. Maryland, okay, you took care of Michigan State on us, and we've seen this Michigan State team. And I liked them when they played Maryland in their game before this tournament game. I said, you know what? All right, you're off big wins, but you're Michigan State. You have big wins. Sometimes you go 30-4. You're 26-5. You're a good team that wins back-to-back games on the road against superior competition. All right, you beat them there. And you say, okay, it's a tough spot for Michigan State. They had a rough run, weren't looking good, put together some wins. Maybe they're getting a little, getting their feet underneath them, so to speak, getting a little flow going. And then you think, okay, you got beat down here pretty good. Why don't you come out and show us how good you are? Well, that worked for, 16 minutes in the first half, and then the wheels fell off the bus. So Michigan State, listen, they're going to be a 1 seed. I think they want that 1 seed because, I think as much as people are that high on them, if, the Illini pull off a win here, even possibly Ohio State or Iowa, you might get one of those guys to leapfrog Michigan to a 1 spot, because I mean you're going to have Gonzaga and Baylor, uh, one of these teams, right? I don't think we should count out Houston down in the AAC. That team is a top 5 team. It's a top 5 offensive and defensive efficiency numbers. That team should maybe get a. Virginia was a bust. Yeah. Hey, they were looking. They had the lead, and then they just can't expand on it. That's what we're talking about, like with Syracuse, like Michigan State. You got an established coach. This is when they usually shine and come out and do good things. Syracuse up to the challenge, hit some big shots late, kill our game right there. Michigan State, on the other hand, hopefully don't get invited. Let's get our Drake in there before we get Duke and Michigan State and some team that's showing no heart. I mean, listen, how bad, meaning what? You lose to Michigan State after you beat them, and then you lose to Illinois, who's a really good team. I mean, these guys are 19-3. It's not like they're bad. I mean, what team are we talking about here? Wouldn't they look really bad? I don't know. I got to disagree with you there, Blue. Ohio State, Purdue's next up. Winner here will play Michigan. Ohio State, the 5 seed, a little 1.5 point favorite here over Purdue. 4 straight losses coming in. That's why I was a little hesitant to back them. Had the under in that game. And how about Minnesota showing, no quit today, a lot of heart. 4 straight losses coming in. Held on for dear life today. As I said, 26 points the last 2 minutes. And then they're favored over Purdue. They split their season series 67-65 Ohio State, 67-60 Purdue wins that one. 5 straight wins. I kind of like Purdue here. I think this is a underrated bunch. So I'll lean on Purdue here. What do we got here? It was a little horrible day. Tonight looks bad too. I don't know. Maybe for you, we've won some games. I mean, we had Northern Arizona getting 15. They lose by 6. I got Norfolk giving 5. They're up 14 at the half. I got North Carolina giving 4. They're up 9. I don't know if that's bad. Come on. Come on, Gabe. Gotta get it together here. That's not bad. I got 4 games pending. The other one, even I don't know what the Texas Tech score is. I got 4 games, and I just gave you 3, and they're all up right now. Come on. How many teams from either Big 10 or Big 12 make the Sweet 16? Who knows how these brackets are going to be? Let me turn down my little light here. Hold on a second. It's a little too bright there. It was bothering me. I was having trouble seeing the screen, the glare. I mean, you could have these teams facing each other. So you're going to knock guys out. Let's be honest. You got, Baylor, Kansas, West Virginia could all make the Sweet 16. Michigan, Illinois, Iowa. I mean, without best player, they got worked. Well, hey, listen, Illinois is a good team. I don't know where you've been on Illinois. I put a ticket on Illinois last April for just random $56 to win $3,000 or something on them in the tournament. Let me see if I can find that. I don't know who it is. Maybe DraftKings. I have it. I'll try to find that while I'm talking to you. Boy, my eyes are really bothering me right now. I can barely see these things. I don't know if it's the light. Why is it being like that? No, we don't want it all out there. Interesting. Don't blame me for your bets. Hey, listen, we're going to have bad days. We're going to have good days. It's definitely, I have to move here with this light. What did I do here? What did I do? I don't know. All right, well, I'm going to try to read these things. Maybe because I've been staring at a screen for freaking 15 hours. That could possibly do it. So let's roll with these things here. Why is I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm going crazy today, folks. All right, so Ohio State, Purdue. We'll lean on Purdue. Rutgers, Illinois. I don't think if I have to check for a line on this one. Was it up earlier? I mean, I have Illinois at about a 9-point favorite in this one. Maybe 8.5. I'm seeing 7 for Illinois. Illinois is minus 7.5, total 136.5. So, listen, I sort of like Rutgers. I was like, you know what? Maybe take Indiana. The line went up to 3. I kind of like the buckets there. On the video here, we gave that as a little lean. That win should probably punch Rutgers' ticket. I think Rutgers should be in the tournament. So, yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you how I like. I'm trying to see if I have that bet here. I'm looking for it. This is Colorado State to make the tournament. I'll find it somewhere. Maybe it's BetMGM. I don't know. I'm going to lean a little bit on the Illini here to get it done. I'll lean Illinois 7. Listen, I like Rutgers, but are they at this level yet, talent-wise, to hang here? Be a great story. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have money on this one, though. I already have future on Illinois, so I'll be looking towards that. So that's where I want to be. Let's see. Horrible before we said the moon. I got to go through all these. I'm really having trouble with this light today. That's weird because it wasn't bothering me earlier looking at this stuff. Maybe I'm thinking like my eyes blurry. That's not it. I'm not saying they're a bad team. No, hey, sometimes you lose a game. We saw Gonzaga almost lose. We see teams play tough ones. That shouldn't change your whole outlook on how a team is on one game. Oh yeah. I got to tell you, BetMGM app always a hard time. Look at see these buttons. Nothing. Unbelievable. All right, next up, AAC. Again, so we're going to go, like I said, we had the Big Ten first because these were going in time order. I was trying to get the games to do. And after these next two, we'll get into just regular conference order. But AAC, 12 o'clock, South Florida and Wichita State here. Again, so South Florida, again, you come in 4 straight losers, and then you upset Temple. Okay, Temple, not all that great shakes. And you got 1 seed Wichita State's come in, 7 straight, 9-10. Wichita State, what do we got? 80-63, 82-77. And this line, I think we have a line on this, right? I know I saw it. +9 for South Florida, 138. I hate just taking. Sometimes someone's like, "Oh man, you like a lot of faves." Well, sometimes I take faves when you have a team that's 15-4 versus a sub 500 team. We have the 1 seed versus a team that's terrible. 9's a big number. You know what? I probably got no real opinion on this. So if I'm going to do anything, maybe I'll dive a little deeper into it another, later on tonight, looking at these games. But I don't know. Cincinnati and SMU. I do have a play on this. I'll give you one of them. I got a side and total on this game, but I'll give you the total right off the bat here because I did a little write up for this game. I'm going to go over to 144. SMU, I get it. They haven't played since February 8th. You're thinking, they're going to come in sloppy, no legs. They're more of an interior team anyway. Both these guys aren't huge 3-point shooting teams. They're more inside grinders, so easier baskets inside. Cincy, I think, has done a 13-3 to overrun. So I'm going to lean on the over in this game in Cincy and SMU, the SMU, the Mustangs, the old Pony Express. Let's see. Can I bet on Here we go. Rule change. What do we got going on? I can't even see these. How bad is that? Maybe it's my computer screen, not me. I do not know. Revenge spot Illinois against. Hey, listen, Illinois. You don't need revenge. They're a good team. They could do anything. Lean is a maybe. A lean is. I sort of like it right now. It could change in the morning. Maybe I'll put something on it. When if I put lean in the chat, I kind of like it. If a premium would be like is a play I've actually put out as a pick on the site. And anything I really put in here other than lean, if it's just a pick, it's something I'll have my own dollars on. So this game here is not a lean. I like the over here in Cincinnati. So I'll even throw that out here. I can tell you that's a premium. Let's make today a top day. Well, I want them all top days. I want every day top day, but sometimes you don't get them. Jake, you could lean SMU because they're not, like I said, it's not like this is a team that's going to have its legs in them and they're going to be shooting jumpers all the time. They're not, they're not really heavily relying on threes and jumpers. They're more interior grinded out. So Texas 32-30. All right, Tom, I got Tech there. So hopefully we bounce back. It's still early over there. Hopefully they don't pull a Michigan State on us and wet the bed, not show up. Second half, we've had that happen a couple times to us. And again, as much as that happens, how many times have we had teams come out and just blow out teams in the second half too? So, I don't know. We had Oral Roberts the other day. They were up huge, and we had to hold on for dear life. So I don't know. I look at it as we have used up a lot of our what's happening, and now we need some goodness to roll back on our side. So what do we got here? All right, let me see what I got going on here. Oklahoma is my Georgia Tech ACC winner. UConn Big East, Colorado Mountain West. Here's a nice loser, West Virginia for the Big 12. Richmond for the A10. Loyola Chicago, national champs. Here we go. Where is my line, I bet? Maybe it's in Will Hill. I'm done looking. All I know is I got a line ticket somewhere. I better find it because that, of course, when I don't find it, it's good. It's a guaranteed winner. So do not know the nicknames. No problem. We'll get off the nicknames. Next up, AAC, 10 seed Tulane, 2 seed Houston. I almost want to lay to 17 here with Houston. All right. 2 seed, maybe a 3 seed the NCAA tournament. I think they should at least minimum 2. And listen, they're 21-3. It's not like they're a bad team. They're KenPom top 10 offensive and defensive efficiency. So they're good on both sides of the ball. January 9th, 71.50. January 28th, 83.60. I ran through their schedule real fast. This was like one of the last things I did. Laying this number, I think they would have covered out of the 17 games, out of covering the 17, I think 9 out of 10, and 2 of them. No, I think they would have covered 9 or 10 times. 2 of them they would have pushed. I think 2 games landed on 8. So 17 might seem like a lot, but they have really taken care of business. And Tulane, like I just said, a team coming in with 4 straight losses, you upend the team, you upset Tulane. I had Tulane. I was a loser because I'm like, hey, Tulsa. I like Tulsa because Tulane's playing like crap. 46 points they scored one game, 46 they scored in a win, 49-58. They have trouble scoring points. I mentioned the 50 they put up here and 60 in both games against Houston. So Houston's going to hold these guys in a 50 range. They'll get their 70. So I think this number at 17 is probably where it should be, but I would feel comfortable probably laying 20. I think even 20 you might be able to get a push or a win, Anything underneath that, if you want to lay a big fave, I think you do it Houston. Central Florida, your 6 versus your 3 seed Memphis. There was no line when I started these. Let's see if we have one up yet already. I'm not seeing anything. I'll tell you here, listen, Memphis is a 3 seed, very talented. They got some scoring problems. They're defensively great. I think they're 2 in defense here. 156 though in offensive efficiency, so they have problems scoring. They're going to be a favorite here. Central Florida, I had them today as a premium. I'll probably come back with them. They're hot. Definitely I'm going to put it up here as a lean until we get a number, but it's a game I am definitely looking at here. So for now, lean UCF ending number, but most likely premium play. Hey, listen, Oklahoma State will be a contender because they have a guy who's probably going number 1 in the draft, and he can take over a game. I saw them personally. I had West Virginia. I thought West Virginia would take care of these guys at home. Cade was going to be out. If I didn't know he was out beforehand, I figured at worst he's not 100%, and they still got it done on the road against West Virginia, who I was extremely high on, and again who I lost on today. So, and what's the definition of insane? Doing something over and over again, banging my head with West Virginia. But yeah, Oklahoma State could be extremely dangerous because you got a guy who's awesome. He could pull like a Danny Manning or Carmelo. Get on my back. I'm taking you to the promised land. So why not take a shot on Oklahoma State to make us a Sweet 16, Final 8, Final 4 run? Sounds like good money. Something I'd look at later on, especially before this game, because all of a sudden if they, Oklahoma State starts winning here in the tournament for the Big 12, that line will get readjusted. So see if you can find something like that. Tough. Again, shop around because I got 8 New Jersey apps on my phone and 3 of them don't have conference tournament odds on it. So you got to see. What do you got? Kansas pit regulation. Oh, for hockey. I'm like, pit regulation. Ohio, so we're going to get to that. Let's just hit the SEC real fast. Alabama, Mississippi, 1 seed, 9 seed. Mississippi State, we had them today. I told you in the chat I kind of liked them. I like the over there. I mentioned they kind of got a little fat. I was a little worried because, they beat up on South Carolina, A&M, 4 wins. Iowa State, who had like 4 wins on the year. You beat Kentucky, who had 9 wins. Here comes Alabama. Look at this. What'd you lose at? You lost at Arkansas. It was the 2 seed, 3 seed. You lose to LSU. Bama won both these games this year, 64-59, 81-73. So kind of close. 61 in the last 7, 3 straight wins. 9 maybe a little high. Again, maybe this is something. I know I said Baylor first half today. I thought they'd come out and take care of business. They didn't. But tomorrow's a new day. Does Alabama come out flat again? I don't know. Is it going to be like these other teams come out flat a little bit in first half? I don't want to lay 9, but Alabama could score. I'll lean Alabama here. Next game up, Florida, Tennessee, a 4-5 game. Florida Gators +3, total 133. This was a big game for me on Sunday. Top sure shot I had on Tennessee, and they pulled away 65-54 as a win. Because the game before that, they lost 75-49 in Florida. The Gators swamped them. You don't shoot good, you're not going to win on the road. You're not going to win anywhere. So it took care of business at home. You got the rubber match here. I'm probably leaning towards Tennessee. Again, I got to do a little more work on this guy, but as of now, I'll lean Tennessee. Arkansas and LSU, I got nothing for you for those games. Big 12, we talked about Oklahoma State. They're getting 9 here from Baylor. Totals 151.5. Kansas, we don't know who they're playing. Texas and Texas Tech. Winner faces Kansas. I got a premium up in this Oklahoma State Baylor game. I'm not going to give that out because that's going to be up in a 3-pack. Mountain West, 5 Nevada, 1 San Diego State. I think I got a line finally on this. We got 8.5 now, plus 8.5. Total 140 Nevada. I got, San Diego State. This is, Nevada, I don't know. I can't really say much here because I didn't really write much down for this game. I don't want to just randomly throw out something here. I'll probably come back tomorrow more on this game because I was just trying to keep up to date as these games come out. Hey, listen, last year, this year Kansas beat them, but Baylor was coming out of the COVID. They didn't play for a while. They kind of went through the motions in that Iowa State game. Kansas nipped them. The offense wasn't going. But Kansas they've had a down year, but this is still Kansas, and they own the Big 12. That's theirs. It should just be called the Big Kansas. They're always winning the conference. Although Baylor finally said not this year and took it from them finally because they choked it away last year. But yeah, Kansas is good. The problem is with Kansas is when they're going to choke in, they're not going to cover for you in the first round of the NCAAs, and they'll lose in the second round to a 10 seed. What's Thomas saying here? UConn is eating DePaul alive. And we like UConn. We'll get to them in a second. We'll talk UConn. We said coming in that they're the hottest team. We said Nova was down. They lost their best guy. Sure enough, they're out. Creighton is okay. UConn is the hot team. We're on UConn. I just said, wait, if you weren't, I said to even take UConn today. I said DePaul, much like what I just said about who we were just talking about, a low seed playing a high seed. South Florida, 12 versus 1. UConn is the 3 seed, I think, if I remember correctly. I mean, DePaul, okay, a nice win for you. They weren't a good team at all. UConn should blow them out. That's how they're playing right now. The sad thing is that in this, like tomorrow, you're going to have Georgetown, Seton Hall, and you're going to have the 2 seed Creighton versus UConn. That's like the championship game. That's who you want to see because that's going to be a wild. I think that's going to be a crazy over. I'll lean towards. Tell you right now, I don't even know what the total is, but we'll be looking at the over in that game. And I'm going to be on UConn because I've got them already to win the tourney. MEAK action. I only got one line right now. We're waiting on. I don't think I have a Buffalo final. Do we have that game yet or no? Nothing. So we'll stick with this. Ohio, your 5 seed, 1 seed. Toledo, 4, 157. What do we got? 2 wild games. Yes, I had Toledo. I like the over. I didn't put out the over. I should have. 91-89. Ohio's 85-61. Toledo won. There's only meeting this year, 95-78. So do I think we get to see some points here? Probably. It looks like one of those games you might see some points on the board. It's actually down to 3.5 now. We might be leaning a little Ohio, believe it or not, in this game. Toledo could score. This might be the Rockets' year, but I might be leaning Bobcats there. We'll see. We'll see more. Score in Penn State. Let me do a refresh here on. Got so many. I'm trying to get the live lines going. I'm watching. I got live scores up. Rutgers is up 11 to Rutgers. Oh, that's the final. North Carolina looks like a winner for us. Yay. My 30 seconds. I'm not. How much time is that? Is that a final yet? I don't want to do that because I'm giving. What am I giving? 3 there. But North Carolina, 3.5. They're up 9, 16 seconds. USC's up 6. Norfolk's rolling. Hopefully that holds on there for us. UConn's just doing UConn things. We like to see that. Wisconsin is up 11 here. I sort of like Penn State today. I'm not high on Wisconsin. I think they'll be. I think they're getting crushed tomorrow. Where's that Big Ten matchup? Who do they got tomorrow? Iowa. Yeah, Iowa's going to drop whoever Iowa plays. They're putting up 88 tomorrow. Louisiana Tech, Ramblin', Mississippi, 34-30. Texas here at the half. And Weber getting under way. 50. Oh, here's the scores here. Rio hasn't started. Any thoughts on Colorado? I like I'll lay the big number with Colorado, believe it or not. I like Colorado. Again, Cal's a team, doesn't shoot well, played poorly all year. Colorado's a good team, good shooters, good free throw. It's a big number. Something I do is once you start getting a deep seed, short, and unless it's a team, we're just properly like you're going to have a team that's maybe had a bad year, maybe somebody was injured or guys come back or they had transfers or something. So they start out bad and are a bad seed, but they're still a good team. That's a team I could ride going deeper into conference tournaments. Like not not a 8, 9, not these bad teams that have 3 wins. Not especially not in Power Five conferences. There's no way I'm taking teams that are 4-15 to come in and beat 2 seeds. No way. Not in the Pac-12 that I'm not even a fan of, or the Big 12. Any of those. Nothing. No. No. I will lose and say, okay, I'll lose. That's a loser. But I'm not. I can't. No. I'll lay the big points here because you're that good. Take care of the garbage team. What do you need to scare for? I can see that, Jim. Terps will hang for a half. Could be. Or it'll be, talking about Michigan, it'll be Michigan will be up 46 to 31 at the half, and then not score for 8 minutes, and the game's 47-43 with 9 minutes to go. So you got that going in your favor. The VCU is the championship game against St. Bonaventure for the A10. That is Sunday. We also have, I think, on Sunday, America East with UMass Lowell and Hartford. Hartford was a team we picked. I said I like Hartford to win that, and sure enough, here they are in the finals. Go back to that America East show from last week. And we have Colgate and Maryland on Saturday in the Patriot. So that's why you'll see some games like that a little far out. The Atlantic 10 decided to make sure nobody got sick and scheduled their championship game a week after the semis. Do I think that Tech could come back? Texas Tech or Louisiana Tech? Yeah, I think Tech's going to come back. I think Tech's going to win. Why wouldn't I think they'll come back? They're down 4. It's not like they're down 64-22 at the half. No. I mean, they're shooting 38%. They're shooting 38, and Texas is at 50. 48, but Texas 13-27 from the field, 6-14 from 3, and we're 12-32 from the field. So yeah, I definitely think we come back. I expect us to come back. So Maction, no line. MEAK, I got no line here. Morgan versus Coppin State. Although I'll probably lean a little bit. What do I got here on this Morgan line? Morgan is actually a 4.5-point favorite here as a 3 seed. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I'm going to pull out some MEAK right now because I want to see how these guys did head-to-head because they're both out of North. And if I remember from our show correctly, I said the North was the tougher conference. February, Coppin, Morgan won 95-82 over Coppin, and in January, Morgan won again 79-76. So they played a third time. Coppin won that 89-79, and a fourth time. Of course, they played 4 times this year. Why wouldn't they? Morgan won 3 of the 4, 92-72. Then they lost 89-79. Then they come back on Coppin's home court. They win 79-76 and 95-82. So we're definitely going to look at this over. What is this over? 154? Yeah. I say jump on this over yesterday. I mean, look at this game. This game goes, one game's over, total is 160, and it goes to, what is that? 176? This one went under 158, but that's fine because we're looking at 154, and that was, what's that? That's 155 points. That would have went over. 80-79. Again, that's an easy over. That goes over 152 to that goes over to about almost 170, right? 180. What do we got? 152, 62 with 68. This total is 152 and a half. I went over by 11. So yeah, all these games would have went over. Let's lock into that over right now. Over MEAK. Let's get on it. Are you laying with points with Colorado State versus Fresno? I'll see if I have my picks here from earlier. Nah, let me just look at the game real fast here. Eight and a half. Line came down a little bit. You know what? I like Colorado State. I'm a little biased because I had the future on them to not only win the Mountain West, but also to make the NCAA tournament. Will I lay? I'll probably lay. Yeah, let's go. Colorado State won 81-59 and 75-53. They played back at the end of December. So, yeah, we're not laying, yeah, I feel good laying double digits here. We're laying less than that. So, get it done, Colorado State. Make me proud. 8.5. Win this one by 13. Make it easy on us. Yep. Yes, they did, Thomas. Yes, they did. They blew out Fresno 2 times. Yep. So, yeah. A lot of times they say, like, oh, you can't beat the good team 3 times. And I believe when you're a good team, something close, you can't get that. Oh, I had Boise today, and Nevada beat them again. And this is the most convincing one for them. But in this case, when you're talking 20-point wins, it's not even close. Obviously, a big difference in talent and play. Lay it. I mean, how isn't this game double digits? We'll lay double digits here. I would lay, and we don't have to. We got to lay 8. What else we got here? ACC, we got Georgia Tech and Virginia, 1 versus 4. This is tough. I got to really jump into this one. I got Georgia Tech as a sleeper. Everybody's got them in a sleeper in this conference, but the line looks a little, I don't know. I'm leaning a little Georgia Tech here, but I could see Virginia winning because everybody's going to be down on them because they hurt everybody today. We're going to have a 3 seed North Carolina versus Florida State coming up. That should be a good little game. Like I said, I was a little worried here. Right off the bat for tomorrow, I'm going to have probably, I think Florida State, I'm going to put them at like a early, maybe like a 5-point fave here over North Carolina. We'll see what the official line is. Florida State, free trip to the semis. Not that I came back and I'm like, as much as I thought Duke was going to win because I was annoyed at them and I could just see the committee getting them in. I actually put Florida State as a best bet today, minus the 3 points. Obviously, was suspended. But this game, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the books come up with this game. Because Florida State's going to want to, like I said earlier, that North Carolina game, it was slow. I didn't want them to get into set offenses. I need them to run, get up and down the court, generate easy points off rebounds and crash the glass offensively. So we'll see what that line comes up with. We talked about the Big Sky, South Utah, Southern Utah, Montana. We hit the Big East, Seton Hall, Georgetown. I'm kind of leaning in the Hall here. I'll lean a little bit on the Hall. I love Patrick Ewing today. It was like people don't know who he is at Madison Square Garden. That's disgusting. So I'm leaning a little bit of the Hall. I don't know yet. Not official because Georgetown's been playing real well. They beat Seton Hall 81-75 back on February 20th. The Hall won in December by 12, 78-67. But they were coming in on a 4-game losing streak. You needed OT to get by St. John's. Letdown spot, maybe. Like we had Georgetown. We liked Georgetown at +9. We liked the money line when it came down, when Nova lost another guy. A 6-2 run for Georgetown. Both losses to UConn, who we all love already, and we think it's going to be a fun game tomorrow versus Creighton. I just don't know if Georgetown's not getting any kind of respect here. I think people are going to be like, they beat Nova. They're not going to win here. The Hall's basically just ended a losing streak. I mean, listen, it was Villanova pre-injury. They were the top team. And then you had Creighton, and then it was UConn. And everybody else is kind of like a middle-of-the-road kind of bunch. You don't know who to get out of here. So, I mean, listen, one of these teams is going to be in a championship game versus I think they'll be, fodder for UConn or Creighton. But Right now, I don't want to say it, but I have to. I'm going to lean a little bit on the Hall here, but that's not official. I'm not writing it down here. Still work to do on this game. I got the 7 Warriors, but I'm from the Bay. Yeah, I like Clippers. Oh, you like the comments I said about the Clippers, Alex? That was funny. Yeah, I like to crank up the thing. Although, really, I don't think Steph Curry is the best shooter ever. I mean, although Draymond Green, I think, is one of the rare players in today's game that could actually play back in like the 80s and 90s, and not, he would have probably been really good back then. Steph Curry, not so much. That guy, Steph Curry, would be Reggie Miller. His father was a better player back in the day than he was in those days. I just like, oh, he's such a great shooter. I mean, you're a great shooter because one, if you breathe on somebody, you get called for a foul. I mean, and the game is just shoot threes. Everybody in the shoot threes. No one could shoot a free throw. Nobody has a 12-foot jumper. Just come down and air it up. Come on. I mean, little John Stockton would come down and take a clothesline. Isaiah Thomas. See the fouls these guys used to get. They weren't even flagrants. It's freaking nuts. Pansy generation. These players. Who shoots better than Curry? And I think Drazen Petrovic over Steph Curry. Detlef Schrempf. Michael Adams. I mean, really. His father was a great shooter. I think Glenn Rice. Dennis Scott. Man, how old are you, Michael? Take the Jazz. Jazz. I just go Jazz all the time. Jazz to win the West. You love Georgetown. I like Georgetown too. I got to do a little. I got to dig deep into this game because this Georgetown team was not meant to be much this year, and here they are in the semis. What other games we got here tomorrow? Pac-12, Conference USA. I don't really have much lines going for those. SWAC, I didn't even address. There was nothing really much coming up there yet. Let me see if I can find some lines here. Anything out of nothing Conference USA. I think the bookmakers must go to sleep because there's no new lines coming up. Oh, blue. Yeah, 35. You're young, Mike. You're still a young guy. Yeah, nobody's pulling off for 28 because there was a guy on you. This thing called defense we played back in the day. We didn't let you just come down and shoot open shots like this joke of a league. Have you ever go pull up some YouTube highlights of like 80s basketball? I mean, 90s basketball. I mean, holy cow. Chris Jackson. He could shoot. I mean, listen, Chris Mullin could bomb away. Michael Adams was a 3-point shooter. I mean, and then you had your guys like, like Craig Hodges was like a 3-point specialist, or Danny Ainge or Craig Ealer or somebody. The easy winner for tomorrow. There's no easy winners, Nico. That's fantasy land. Let's see what we got here line-wise. Easy winner for you tomorrow, for the video. You know what? I'm going to say the easy video winner for tomorrow. I'm going to go Illini just because I don't think Rutgers is ready for prime time. They're not recruit-wise, talent-wise. Illinois, they're not. It's not like double digits, So I'll say Illinois will be my best on the video here. I'm not saying he's not a great shooter. I'm not saying he's not the greatest of all time. People say, "Well, Ray Allen," and so, I mean, you just can't. I mean, had this guy's got more 3-point shots than somebody else, like from like somebody like Larry Bird. Let me tell you, Larry Bird today would average 48 points a game. That guy, you want to talk about somebody who could shoot anywhere? Like, did you ever see a McDonald's commercial where he was shooting from the rafters? Like, he did that in games. The guy who walked into like warm-ups for an All-Star game with a jacket on, and said, "Who's finishing second place in 3-point shooting contest?" Didn't take his coat off and drilled every shot. I mean, you can, and you can't compare the decades, but you can compare players, like guys who were dominating in the 80s and 90s. And I'm sure somebody would say, I mean, I think Oscar Robertson averaged a triple double in the 70s, but 80s guys and 90s guys in today's league, oh man, holy cow! Come on, who the hell was stopping Karl Malone? Like Stockton would average 25 assists a game. Karl Malone would eat up these young guys. Who the hell stopping him inside? They'd be scared. And Charles Barkley spits on children, punches Angolans. You think he gives a crap about Steph Curry trying to come out and guard him? Klay Thompson? Are you kidding? Klay? Oh my God. Who is tough in this league? I mean, LeBron could definitely play back in the day. You know, I said Draymond could play. Curry would be like his dad. He would come in and just be the 3 guy off the bench. He's Joe Dumars. Glenn Rice could bomb away. Dennis Scott back on those Orlando Magic teams. I mean, there was just a bunch of guys who could shoot. You know, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning. I mean, you talk about some guys on Charlotte. I mean, freaking Allen Iverson. Who's stopping Allen Iverson in this league? I mean, they talk about like Steve Francis back in the day. As good as he was, or McGrady, they were okay for a couple of years. I mean, they were nothing compared to, man, AI. I was like, listen, I was at a craps table and he was at the one next to me. I was watching him play. There was no way that guy was 6 foot. He was like 5'10", maybe a buck 50. Reggie Miller. How about Chuck Person, a rifleman back on those Pacers team? That guy could bomb away. 105 threes in a row. I mean, what are we talking? Practice? 105 threes in a row. Come on, Bill. What are you talking about here? You could hit 10. Of course, you hit 10 threes in a game when nobody guards you. You come across, you just fire a shot, nobody's sticking you. If the 3 was big back then, guys would be shooting the 3 all over the place. I mean, Mark Aguirre, Adrian Dantley. I mean, Hershey Hawkins. Jeez. I mean, Klay, you know who Klay is right now? Klay is Allen Houston. He's Allen Houston. Remember Allen Houston? That was a great 3-point shooter. He hurt himself. Hundred 105 in his driveway on his TikTok video. Let me tell you, Drazen Petrovic. Let me tell you, that guy didn't die in a car accident. Chuck Daly was coach on that team. Kenny Anderson, Derek Coleman, Chris Morris was solid. Petro. Hell, don't we talk about net guys? How about like Keith Van Horn? I take Keith Van Horn over over Steph Curry. Jason Kidd, Keith Van Horn, Kenyon Martin, not even a shell of himself. I think Vince Carter on that team with Reggie Jefferson, and I mean, went to back-to-back finals. The Nets. I think that's a real discussion. We'll do a discussion of. I'll bring up random 80s and 90s guys who are better than everybody here. And let's be honest, I like LeBron. The guy's, I don't care, but like, oh, he's got more of this and that than Jordan. Don't please. Jordan took off to go play baseball because he was a degenerate. Keith Van Ort. Tom Gugliotta. The Tom Gugliotta. Kerry Kittles. There we go. Villanova legend. Those Cleveland Cavalier teams that were pretty good back then. Mark Price, Elo, Brad Daugherty. Very tough teams. Tough teams. All right, that's enough about that. So obviously tomorrow's show, we're going to race through a bunch because we're going to have lines, and it'll be like today's 12 o'clock show. 40 minutes. We're going to lay them all out, boom, one after another. I'll try to add them, post them up as we go to get them all out there because we're going to have a lot because they're slow coming up now. So Terrell Brandon, another good guy. Allen Houston says no Clay. Yeah, Allen Houston was better. He had better years than Clay before he got hurt. Drazen was great. Can't get rid of physical generation, that's for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, you call athleticism and skills. I'm calling it that they don't call fouls. It's like the NFL where these guys are like Spud Webb. It's how about who else was on that? Spud Webb, Dominique. I mean, you call it like athleticism, skills. It's like football with these roughing the passer calls. Have you ever seen the shots that it just didn't in the 90s that like Troy Aikman would take from like the Eagles? That left shrimp. Remember that from ESPN? It's on Seattle. How about let's talk about Seattle? Talk about Gary Payton, how great that guy was. I would Payton on Curry, and Curry shooting 3 of 17 from the field. I think I put the Nets out as a free pick somewhere. Kevin Willis was the center. That's who it was. I'm trying to remember his name. Big 7-footer. Steve Atwood from Denver. Andre Dirty Waters. Listen, those guys. You see Elway and Marino. Any of those guys who played in like the 80s and 90s just got housed. I mean, they had killed Joe Montana. I mean, you see Joe Theismann's legs snapped in half. I mean, the penalties. Now, listen, they switch these rules up. They want to make it more fun, but listen, nothing better than when Barkley would get into a fist fight with Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn, and nobody'd get ejected. Tree Williams. Yes. I love it. See, we could just do old school stuff like that. Tom Chambers. How about Tom Chambers? Nice 6'10" white guy. He's in a frame of Chambers, Tom Gugliotta, Christian Laettner, all pre Dirk Nowitzki's. Shaq Tatum, just clothesline people. Muggsy Bogues. Payton was awesome. Malice at the Palace. Who's that? Steven Jackson going to the fans with Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. Ron Artest, St. John's. Love that old school St. John's. All right, folks. I got a lot of work. I got to see if we get some lines up. We got the show tomorrow. I got some running around and doing in the morning. I want to make sure I get some games up for us. Oh man, long day last night, 2 a.m. waiting for these freaking lines. Pain in the butt, but it is what it is. That's the job. It's only 2 weeks in March. We'll take care of it. All right, enough with that. We're out of here tomorrow, 12 noon. Take it easy. Hopefully we're back. Yeah, Jermaine will punch a field. He punched a guy. He looked like Turtle. He looked like Turtle from Entourage, the one guy. Oh man, I'm out of here. Good night, everyone. Tom Chambers was good. Go look at Tom Chambers' numbers on Phoenix. And as long as we're on Phoenix, Kevin Johnson, awesome point guard. One of the only ones that averaged 20 and 10 assists. KJ, beast. Dan Marley. Here we go. Dan Marley over Steph Curry. Dan Marley all day. And that's the show. Marley for president.